Gonna love Yahweh. Boy, Shema Mashak Yahweh. Shema Yahweh Yahweh Hayanaba Kadabomashbaka. Shalom. May peace, serenity, and prosperity be multiplied unto you all. Ashar Shabbat, if you're catching this during the Shabbat, which is coming up pretty soon here, a couple more hours. I want to take the time to really get some edification by the way of the passing of Chuck Norris. All right. Now, for those of y'all who don't know, the Hollywood martial artist passed away today at the age of 86. And before I get into this lesson, we're going to reflect on a couple of short videos on his work, right? And then we're going to get to the scriptures to actually get what the Most High wants us to learn from this. Now, many of us seen his movies. We've seen his TV shows. I know back in the day, my house was fans of Walker, Texas Ranger. You know, I used to watch that religiously back in the day. You know, that was like one of the only things that I watched on a continuous basis that can constitute me being a fan of his work. It was Walker, Texas Ranger. Now, we know he was in many movies and many other types of TV shows and movies where he put his martial arts to use. But the problem lies in the idolatry that many people gave him. Yeah. The idolatry. And that's what we're gonna get some edification on, the idolatry. Now, as we can see here in this post, seems like the Most High snatched them up a little bit after celebrating a birthday. And we're going to get a reminder about birthdays in this lesson too. But nonetheless, I'm going to let these videos play. I'm going to add my commentary. And then we're going to get to the scriptures. Fair use, fair use, fair use.
I don't age. I level up.
Okay. So we can see here, Mr. Chuck Norris had a lot of vitality for his elderly age. So when he passed away, it all started with him having a quote unquote medical emergency yesterday. And then they said he passed away, I don't know, sometime last night or sometime today. In between today and yesterday evening, he passed away. And the cause has been undisclosed. They just said that the man had a medical emergency and he was rushed to the hospital. Now, as we can see here, Mr. Chuck Norris looks very healthy for 86 years old. He looks very healthy. Look how he's moving as he's sparring with the guy he's training with. And then all of a sudden, the Most High just snatched him up. Just out of nowhere, he gets snatched up by the Most High. The Most High got tired of whatever he was doing and said, all right, it's time for you to get out of here. It's time for you to come back up here. Come back to the spiritual realm. Now, as we see here, it seems like he had just celebrated his birthday. And those in the truth, you know that the Most High doesn't want us celebrating birthdays. Celebrating your birthday is an act of pride. And we know Mr. Chuck Norris had pride. We already know. We already know. The man had pride. There's very little celebrities out here that aren't prideful. It's a small amount, if any. Let's go to the next video here. All right. So, if I can remember correctly, I believe this was from the movie Enter the Dragon. This was a Bruce Lee movie. I think that's when they had this fight, him and Chuck Norris. But as you can see here, he's being remembered for this fight with Bruce Lee. And those who idolize him put this caption here in the video. If I can show it a little bit. Okay. So the caption says, Chuck Norris didn't die. He just went to heaven to have the long-awaited rematch with Bruce Lee. So, and it's been popularized for many years, these pedestals that people make for Chuck Norris. And that's one of them here. We're reading one of them. They saying that he didn't die. He just went up to heaven to have a long-awaited rematch with Bruce Lee. So they say stupid stuff like this because of the idolatry and the pride that they share with Mr. Chuck Norris. And it's mainly the heathen that does this. But nonetheless, they deified him. Even when he was still living, they made him a deity by the outrageous stuff they will say in recognition of his name and work, such as this. All right. So yeah, the man, he did his thing with the martial arts. You know, though we know it's Hollywood. Um, you know, I know he was an inspiration to many who even practice martial arts. You know, however, they deified this man, and they're still deifying him even in his death by the outrageous things that they're saying, like this caption that we're reading. Um, you know, we know Bruce Lee, the Most High took him out years ago. Years ago. And we know Bruce Lee had a bit of pride as well. But that's besides the point here. You know, they didn't deify Bruce Lee like they deified Chuck Norris, right? They didn't say the outrageous things about Bruce Lee like the outrageous things and claims that they make and the statements that they make concerning Chuck Norris. Let's check out the next video.
Or even want to, but I don't know if you can talk about next season or even want to, but I understand that you're actually going to start seeing more of Texas in the show. Is that anything you can discuss or want to talk about now? I don't want to. No, actually, we start shooting in Galveston, Texas. The first 2 episodes of Walker next season will be shot in Galveston. We'll be shooting on an oil derrick out at sea. We're shooting an episode out at sea on an oil derrick.
So this was a clip with him filming Walker, Texas Ranger. And as I already shared with y'all, I enjoyed that show. Me and my household enjoyed that show back in the day. It was some good work by Mr. Chuck Norris. But I never deified this man. And nobody I know deified this man. You know, like many other people do, especially here on the internet. The statements and the memes that they make concerning this man, they deify this man. They make him into a deity, and they just get to worshiping this man. But yeah, Walker, Texas Ranger, that was a classic show. I'll watch it to this day. You know, if it happened to be on, I would watch it. I would still watch it. You know, it was very entertaining. And even more so, the show was based in Texas. You know, I know the plot was supposed to be Dallas, but here they're shooting in Galveston for whatever reason, as he said. I don't know if they shot the show in Dallas or not. I remember they used to show the Dallas skyline, so they may have shot several episodes out there. I never got that deep into it. I just enjoyed the show. But nonetheless, no matter how much you enjoy the work of any of these celebrities, they're not worth being deified. They're not worth being idolized like they try to entrap you to do. They try to entice your minds to idolize them. And these celebrities are just flesh and blood like you and I. It's the smoke and mirrors of Hollywood that make it seem like it's greater than just flesh and blood concerning their person and concerning their work. But we all know that Hollywood is wicked. So you can't get too caught up into the things that you may find entertaining concerning Hollywood. Again, here's another example of how these people are deifying this man. They're reaching so much in pedestalizing Chuck Norris that they said Chuck Norris isn't gone. He's just teaching eternity how to behave. That's a bold statement. That's a bold statement. Very bold. So we know eternity is connected to the Most High. Because the Most High is the Ancient of Days. The Ancient of Days. right? That's connected to eternity. And that was stated in Daniel 7 and 9. So, these people are outrageous with the claims they make about this man. And I'm pretty sure he knows about these claims. And, it has to do something to his ego, especially being a celebrity, having fame and fortune on such work. Yeah, so nonetheless, we're going to go ahead and get to the scriptures here. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20, starting at verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. So we had to take it back to the Torah for this edification to learn from this man's death. Because there's plenty of idolaters who deify this man as stated before. And they place him on a pedestal trying to lift this man up to the stature of the Most High. Verse 4, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Well, we know Mr. Chuck Norris is an image on the earth beneath the heavens. And with all the cinema he's in and the movies he's in and all the work he's done, his image is connected to a lot of idolatry from those who admire him and idolize him. Verse 5, thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, neither serve them. For I, Yahweh the am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. So knowing the fact that Chuck Norris was made into an idol and you support these wild statements that deify him, you are serving him as an idol. You are acknowledging that he is your idol. And idolatry is something that can get you seriously marked by the Most High, as we read here in verse 5. The Most High said he'll go as far as visiting that iniquity. What is this? No. I'm getting pop-ups from Amazon. That's going to have to stop there. Anyway. The Most High says he'll visit the iniquity upon your third and fourth generation of them that hate him. And to make claims like that, you got to have some type of hatred toward the Most High. To make the wild, outlandish statements that these people make, idolizing Chuck Norris, you have to have some type of hatred toward the Most High. And that's the trap of these celebrities. When you find yourself under their spell, they can have you in many stumbling blocks with the Most High, with your idolatry towards them. Now, we learned here in that video that Chuck Norris just celebrated a birthday. And we know through our holy manuscript that our birthday isn't to be celebrated. Because when you celebrate a birthday, your birthday or somebody else's birthday, you are also idolizing them. You're putting them on a pedestal and recognizing them or you recognize yourself in an era of idolatry. And Jeremiah gives us the breakdown on that here in Jeremiah chapter 20, starting at verse 14. He says, "Cursed be the day wherein I was born. Let not the day wherein my mother bare me be blessed." So, concerning the day that you were born, you only have one birthday, right? You only have one birthday, and that's the day you come out your mother's womb. That is your birthday. When that same calendar date arrives within each yearly cycle, that is not your birthday. That is just the day you were born, which is a chronological measurement of your existence on the earth, what we know as age. But you only have one birthday. But to make that date when you were born a recognized birthday, you're working idolatry, you're working sorcery, you're working all types of wickedness. Let's read further here. Verse 15. "Cursed be the man who brought tithings to my father, saying, a man child is born unto thee, making him very glad." Verse 16. "And let that man be as the cities which Yahweh overthreweth," or overthrew, Salakia, "and repented not. And let him hear the cry in the morning and the shouting at noontide." Verse 17. "Because he slew me not from the womb, or that my mother might have been my grave, and her womb to be always great with me." Verse 18. "Wherefore came I forth out of the womb to see labor and sorrow, that my days should be consumed with shame." Question mark. So Jeremiah got very deep here concerning the seriousness of not celebrating the day you was born. And again, as we read in Arthur Robert, Exodus 20, verses 3 through 5, Yahweh Alahaya Nawa is a jealous Alahaya. He's a jealous God. And not to mention, the Satanists deem birthdays as the highest holiday. They truly believe in birthdays. So when you celebrate birthdays, when you celebrate somebody else's birthday, you're in agreement with Satanists. Just look it up in the Satanic Bible. Do your research. Satanic Bible birthdays. You know what? All right, so we searched it, right? And pardon the spelling, but it understood what I was asking. It says, "How are birthdays recognized by Satanists?" And we get the breakdown here saying Satanists, particularly those following Levian Satanism, consider birthdays to be the most important holiday, celebrating the self and individualism. According to the Satanic Bible, a birthday is viewed as a time for self-worship and recognition of one's significance. And that's exactly what the world does when they talk about celebrating their birthday. And they expect you to recognize all of that too. Those who are caught up in celebrating their birthday. You got people out here, it's mainly women, who have a whole birthday month where they're in a celebratory mode of themselves for the entire month, or at the very least an entire week, which would be considered their birthday week. Furthermore, it states, birthday celebrations and Satanism. Importance of birthdays in LaVeyan Satanism, founded by Anton LaVey. Birthdays are considered the most significant holiday. LaVey states that the highest of all holidays in the satanic religion is the date of one's own birthday. This reflects a philosophy of self-worship and individualism, where the individual is seen as the highest authority. And that's the pride and arrogance many people get when they're in a celebratory mode of the day they were born. Philosophical perspective. Satanists celebrate their birthdays as a form of self-deification. We were just talking about that too. The act of celebrating one's birth symbolizes the recognition of oneself as a god. And that's just what these heathens be doing with Mr. Chuck Norris and the statements that they make in their idolatry toward him. This perspective emphasizes pleasure, desire, and self-gratification, contrasting sharply with monotheistic religions that promote humility and submission to a higher power. Cultural context. While many people celebrate birthdays without any connection to Satanism, the philosophical implications of self-worship can align with satanic beliefs. Critics argue that blindly following traditions without understanding their roots can lead to spiritual confusion. However, for most, birthday celebrations are simply a cultural norm focused on joy and social bonding rather than a religious statement. Well, the deception lies in thinking it's just that. Oh, it's just a cultural norm and social bonding. No. In the background of you celebrating that birthday, you're paying homage to everything that was mentioned here by the satanic doctrine. Individualism, self-importance, self-gratification, etc. It's a satanic or paganist ritual. All right, let's get back to the scriptures. So we just finished with Jeremiah 20:14-18. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 23. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 4, starting at verse 23. Take heed unto yourselves, lest ye forget the covenant of Yahweh Elohayanawa, which he made with you, and make you a graven image or the likeness of anything, which Yahweh Elohayanawa hath forbidden thee. Verse 24. For Yahweh, the Elohayah, is a consuming fire, even a jealous Elohayim. So that's the blatant truth of the Most High. He is a jealous power. And if anybody has anything negative to say about the Most High being a jealous power, yeah, may the Most High destroy your ass. Because I know there's some gainsayers out here that'll take that verse here in verse 24 and flip it in all type of wicked criticism. As in the Most High doesn't have the right to be jealous, or that he's insecure or he's weak. That's what some of you wicked females will say. Oh, God, he's insecure. He's jealous. Yeah, he'll insecure your ass right down to hell. Put you through hell to where you don't want to give up the ghost. So all y'all who want to scoff on that, y'all can shut the hell up. He's a jealous power. It said just that. So don't stir up his jealousy. Verse 25. When thou shalt beget children and children's children, and ye shall have remained long in the land, and shall corrupt yourselves, and make a graven image or the likeness of anything, and shall do evil in the sight of Yahweh the Alahaya, to provoke him to anger. Verse 26. I call heaven and earth to witness against you this day, that ye shall soon utterly perish from off the land, whereunto ye go over Jordan to possess it. Ye shall not prolong your days upon it, but shall utterly be destroyed. So I didn't even read that scripture yet, and through the Spirit, I told all y'all off who had that problem or had anything smart to say about Yahweh confessing to us that he is a jealous power. So that's the curse right there. The curse is right there. Verse 26, Deuteronomy 4:26. That's the curse on all you who had anything to say about Yahweh being a jealous power. Let's take it to the Apocrypha. Book of Sirach, aka Ecclesiasticus. This is Sirach 10, verse 9. Why is earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man, for such a one setteth his own soul to sale, because while he liveth, he casteth away his bowels. So, yeah, being proud is an abomination, because the foundation of your existence is earth and ash. Earth and ash. When your body, when your vessel is broken down to its original compounds, you are nothing but earth and ash, dust and ash, dirt and ash. That's all you are. So to deify anybody, idolize anyone, the Most High ought to get on your ass for making these foolish statements as these heathens do concerning Chuck Norris. See, we saw in that first video, Chuck Norris was still moving like he was in his 40s at 86. As he had a little sparring video. And then he makes the proud claim that he doesn't age, he levels up. And then days after, the Most High took him out. Why is earth and ashes proud? Why is earth and ashes proud? Verse 10. The physician cutteth off a long disease, and he that is today a king, tomorrow shall die. Well, we know that Chuck Norris was a king. He was a king in the martial arts realm of Hollywood, right? He was a king yesterday, and then today he's gone. Sirach 10 and 10. Verse 11. For when a man is dead, he shall inherit creeping things, beasts, and worms. Verse 12, the beginning of pride is when one departeth from the Most High, and his heart is turned away from his maker. So do y'all really think Mr. Chuck Norris was a true man of the Most High? Do you really think that? You'll be a fool to think that. Now, I never looked that far into his spiritual practices, but nonetheless, having that much fame and having that many people gassing you up all over the world, it's going to be very difficult to be humble. And we know from that first video where he said he don't age and he leveled up, that was a very proud statement by Mr. Chuck Norris. And then look at that. Most High took his ass out of here days after he made such a proud statement. The Most High is not to be played with. And if you're in any form of idolatry, you need to repent. Why is that? Verse 13. For pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abomination. And therefore Yahweh brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly. The fact that Chuck Norris just all of a sudden had a medical emergency and he just got taken out and expired from that medical emergency was indeed a strange calamity caused by the Most High. Because of that pride that oozed out of that video where he said he don't age, he levels up. Well, the Most High sure did have a very humorous way of leveling him up. Oh yeah, you're right, you don't age, you level up. You level up, you right. Give me that ghost. Give up the ghost. Sirach 10:13. For pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abomination. What Mr. Chuck Norris said in that video of him not aging but leveling up was an abomination because it came from a source of pride that has been fed by millions of idolaters who come up with these outrageous statements placing him on this pedestal. And therefore, Yahweh brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly. Let's go to 1 John. It's 1 John chapter 2, verse 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Yeah, it's pretty hard for a lot of these celebrities not to have a love for the world because, you know, with that fame and fortune, the world is pretty much at their fingertips. Verse 16. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. Celebrating your birthday or the day that you was born is a derivative of the pride of life. And we see that the pride of life is not of the Most High. It is of the world. Now, that doesn't mean you just go about your life being miserable. No. No, you celebrate life in the name of the Most High, Ba'ashem Yahushua. You're grateful, you're thankful, and you're joyful for him just giving you life, giving you breath, waking up another day, right? For the blessings that he does give you, for the blessings that he's given you, the blessings that you have and the blessings that you have yet to receive, which you are in hopes for, the blessings that you pray for, the opportunity just to pray, right? The know-how on how to pray and to acknowledge the Most High and to thank the Most High and to be grateful toward the Father. That's all the love of the Father, being obedient, reading into this word, learning what the Father hates and what the Father loves. And we know he loves obedience. He loves us trusting him. He loves us keeping his commandments. He loves us having faith in his son, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. Those are the things that we're supposed to be finding joy in as we live our day-to-day lives. We root all of our enjoyment back to that. Though we move and function throughout the world, right? We still have to move and function in society. So there's things that we partake in of society, but those things that we may partake in of society isn't our foundation. So therefore, we don't have a love of the world. We just operate in the world. Let's get it here. Let's get it here in Book of Proverbs, chapter 16, starting at verse 18. Pride goeth before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall. We saw in that video of Chuck Norris sparring and training, full of pride and had a haughty spirit. When he looked into the camera and said he don't age, he levels up. Pride before the destruction and a haughty spirit before the fall. Verse 19, better it is to be of an humble spirit with the lowly than to divide the spoil with the proud. So it's better to be of a humble spirit with people who are also humble than to have a whole bunch of abundance and you divide that among proud people. Simply stated, pride is an abomination. Anytime you hear the word pride, just instantly think abomination. Verse 20, he that handleth a matter wisely shall find good, and whoso trusteth in Yahweh, happy is he. So we're happy when we trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. We find happiness in trusting in him, trusting in the Father. That's how you be happy. You want to know how to be happy? Trust in Yahweh. Have faith in Yahweh Shah. Keep the commandments. That's how you find true happiness. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 10. So this is 1 Corinthians chapter 10, starting at verse 12. Wherefore let him that thinketh he standeth take heed lest he fall. So you think you stand, but you're rooted in the world. You think you standing on something, but you're full of pride because of the rudiments of this world, because of your love of this world. Okay. Take heed before you fall, because we just read pride comes before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall. So take heed before you fall. If you thinking you're standing on something solid, take heed before you fall. Verse 13. There hath no temptation taken you but such as is common to man. But the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. If you're tempted to idolize any of these celebrities, the Most High will give you a way out. He'll give you a way out of that idolatry. Excuse me. These allergies are bothering me. Everything's starting to sprout up in this month of Abib. So all the pollen has been getting to me. So excuse my congestion. And we all been tempted to have some type of pride ourselves. But trust in the Most High, and He'll give you a way out of that pride to remain humble yet powerful. Yeah, He'll do it. Verse 14, wherefore, my dearly beloved, flee from idolatry. We're not supposed to embrace idolatry. We're not supposed to indulge in idolatry. We're not supposed to be given over to idolatry. And we're also not supposed to be given over to idolization from others. We're supposed to flee it. We're supposed to run from it. We're supposed to escape it. It'll save our life to do so. May peace, serenity, and prosperity be multiplied unto you all. Shalom.